obunabbi is given by the Spirit of God. Buweebwa n'omwoyo wa Katonda. For prophecy, okuwa obunabbi is one of the gifts kyekimu ku birabo of God. Kyekimu ku birabo bya Katonda. Prophecy, obunabbi is given to reveal buweebwa okwolesa what lies ahead, ekiri mu maaso, that God's people, nti abantu ba Katonda may not perish, baleme okusaanawo. When we give a prophecy, bwe tuwa obunabbi, or when we prophesy, oba bwe tuwako obunabbi, it is not because we are powerful. Tekiri tuli b'amaanyi, no, nedda. Naye ye kabonero to show you, okulaga that God is real, nti Katonda wa ddala. Is a symbol, ye kabonero that shows you, akakulaga that there is danger ahead. Nti waliwo obulabe mu maaso. Jesus is real. Nti Yesu wa ddala. Still relates to his chosen ones. Akyakolagana n'abalonde be to speak to generation, okwogera eri emigigi for the salvation of souls, olw'obulokozi bw'emmeeme.
I saw, nalabye a disease, nalabye endwadde, when it has largely affected poultry, ng'ekosezza nnyo eby'obulunzi bw'enkoko, obulunzi bw'enkoko, poultry, obulunzi bw'enkoko. Yes. But let us pray. Naye leka tusabe, because kubanga this disease, kubanga eno endwadde will cause people to fear to eat chicken. Egenda yetera abantu okutya okulya enkoko ng'ekifito kyakikombako. It will kill. Eno endwadde egenda kutta many birds. Egenda kutta ebinyonyi bingi. Yes. Yeah. Let us pray. Leka tusabe for people who deal in poultry. Tusabire abantu abenyigira mu kulunda enkoko n'ebinyonyi eby'enjawulo. Let's pray for them. Leka tubasabire in the name of Jesus. Mu linnya erya Yesu Kristo.
Well, the federal government is taking action to reduce the spread of bird flu. The virus was first detected in dairy cattle in Texas and can spread through poultry flocks and wild birds. So the U.S. Department of Agriculture says it will work to prevent the spread of the virus by restricting the movement of cattle between states. The department will also make money available for lost milk production and protective clothing for farmers.
I saw, nalabye a disease, nalabye endwadde, when it has largely affected poultry, ng'ekosezza nnyo eby'obulunzi bw'enkoko, obulunzi bw'enkoko, poultry, obulunzi bw'enkoko. Yes. But let us pray. Naye leka tusabe, because kubanga this disease, kubanga eno endwadde will cause people to fear to eat chicken. Egenda yetera abantu okutya okulya enkoko ng'ekifito kyakikombako.
The real worry is that it will jump to the human lungs, where when that has happened in other parts of the world for brief outbreaks, the mortality rate's been 25%, about 10 times worse than COVID.
I saw, nalabye a disease, nalabye endwadde, when it has largely affected poultry, ng'ekosezza nnyo eby'obulunzi bw'enkoko, obulunzi bw'enkoko, poultry, obulunzi bw'enkoko. Yes. But let us pray. Naye leka tusabe, because kubanga this disease, kubanga eno endwadde will cause people to fear to eat chicken. Egenda yetera abantu okutya okulya enkoko ng'ekifito kyakikombako. It will kill. Eno endwadde egenda kutta many birds. Egenda kutta ebinyonyi bingi. Yes. Yeah. But let us pray. Leka tusabe for people who deal in poultry. Tusabire abantu abenyigira mu kulunda enkoko n'ebinyonyi eby'enjawulo.
Hey there, so there's been a lot of discussion about the theoretical risk of a human outbreak of bird flu, including from a former CDC director. But right now, the CDC says the risk to the public is low. So here's what we know right now. The most immediate threat that this virus poses, naturally bird flu, it's to birds. Nearly 100 million poultry have been affected across the country. But this is also impacting cows. There's been 101 dairy herds affected in 12 different states. What does this all mean for people, though? Well, so far this year, some Americans have been infected with bird flu, but you can count the number of positive cases on one hand.
Let us pray. Leka tusabe, because kubanga this disease, kubanga eno endwadde will cause people to fear to eat chicken. Egenda yetera abantu okutya okulya enkoko ng'ekifito kyakikombako. It will kill. Eno endwadde egenda kutta many birds. Egenda kutta ebinyonyi bingi. Yes. Yeah. Let us pray. Leka tusabe for people who deal in poultry. Tusabire abo abantu abenyigira mu kulunda enkoko n'ebinyonyi eby'enjawulo.
And good evening. We are following a lot of breaking news tonight as we come on the air. We want to start with a strain of the bird flu never detected in humans before. It's now being blamed for the death of a man in Mexico. Here's what we know right now. A 59-year-old man died back on April 24th. The World Health Organization says he died after contracting the H5N2 strain of the virus.
I saw a disease. When it has largely affected poultry. Ng'ekosezza nnyo eby'obulunzi bw'enkoko, obulunzi bw'enkoko, poultry, obulunzi bw'enkoko. It will kill. Endwadde egenda kutta many birds. Egenda kutta ebinyonyi bingi. Yes. Yeah. Let us pray. Ereka tusabe. For people who deal in poultry. Tusabire abo abantu abenyigira mu kulunda enkoko n'ebinyonyi eby'enjawulo. Let's pray for them. Leka tubasabire.
Turning to health news and the growing concern over bird flu, as it is now confirmed at 11 dairy farms in 4 states, 7 of those in Texas. Now, earlier this week, even the largest egg producer in the country, located in the Texas Panhandle, had to put down 1.5 million chickens. And a Texas ranger also tested positive for the virus.
Could we be on the verge of another pandemic, and one that could be even worse than the one caused by coronavirus? This time it could actually be bird flu. Let's hope not. The CDC is now calling for more testing for bird flu at America's farms, sounding alarms after several farm workers contracted the disease from animals. The fear now is that the bird flu is changing, adapting, and could spread to not just birds, but also cattle and pigs, and then eventually spread from human to human. Former CDC Director Robert Redfield, who helped oversee our country's response to COVID, says it is definitely time to take this more seriously. And Dr. Redfield joins me live now. It's always nice to see you, Doctor. I remember you told Chris not long ago that the bird flu could make COVID look like a little pandemic, which was quite alarming. I mean, is that really the case?
Yes, Brian, I really do think it's very likely that we will at some time, it's not a question of if, it's more of a question of when, we will have a bird flu pandemic. And as you mentioned, unfortunately, bird flu has, when it does enter humans, has a significant mortality, probably somewhere between 25 and 50% mortality. So it's going to be quite complicated.
Let's pray for them.